Hello, fourth grade. Today, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be looking at some practice testing for the PSSA. So you are at this dashboard screen. If you're not, what you do is on your login, you are going to choose that apps button in the bottom left-hand corner. You're going to choose the DRC Insights, and it's going to bring you here. Now, we were working down in the tutorials section before. Now we're going to move up to the online tools training. So I'm going to click and we're going to load a new page. It gives me the choice of CDT, PSSA, or Keystone. I want to look at the PSSA and I want to look at the ELA section. This is grade 4, so I'm going to choose grade 4. And what you're seeing here is you are seeing a login. Now this login looks similar to what logging in to take the actual PSSA looks like. Because this is a sample, it's going to be kind of generic. You can see that the username is ELA04. So I'm going to type that in, ELA04. And the password is test1234. And I'm going to choose sign in. So the next thing that comes up, and this is something that whomever you're taking the test with is going to talk to you about. They're going to make sure that you are in the right spots. Here it says training student, but this would say your first and last name. The test name, this one is the OTT, which means online tools training. Student session, sample school. So this would say Dasa McKinney Elementary, and then your PA secure ID is your lunch number. So you can see that all of these are kind of generic. And your teacher is going to be asking you to make sure that all of these are correct. And if they are, you will be pressing the continue button. Here, there could be several tests listed. Again, you're going to follow the directions of whomever is giving you the test in order to choose the correct choice. In this case, since it is a sample test, we only have one choice. So I'm going to choose that English Language Arts, grade 4. Okay, this first page is to remind you that this is copyrighted material. You are not allowed to take photographs of it. You're not allowed to run it through a copy machine, and you're not allowed to share information that is on it. Also, if I scroll down just a touch, we have some helpful hints. The one helpful hint that I really appreciate seeing here is there's no time limit to finish the test. What I've been telling kids is the only time boundary that you have is the end of the school day. You can work on this until the end of the school day. So you have a nice chunk of time in order to complete this. There's no reason to hurry or rush or be worried about not finishing. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and press the next button. The person giving you the test is going to read you all of the test directions. The person is also going to instruct you to read along with them silently. And that way we know that you have heard them and hopefully have also read them to yourself. Now I'm going to choose begin test. Now, the nice thing about these practice tests is at the top, they give you a practice hint. So in this case, they tell you to use the cross-off tool to strike through answer options that do not need to be changed to correct the error. So it says, read the sentence. At clear nights during summer, I enjoy watching all the bright stars shining in the sky high above Earth. Which underlined word should be changed to correct the error? So one of those underlined words in those sentences is wrong. I need to figure out which one is wrong. So I'm going to use my cross-out tool. Let me turn that on. Okay, at clear nights. That sounds funny. At clear nights. On clear nights. During clear nights. That seems like it needs to be fixed. But I'm going to continue just to make sure. During summer. That makes sense. I'll cross that out. I enjoy watching all the bright stars shining in the sky. That makes sense. High above Earth. Okay. So the one here that does not make sense to me is the word at. I think that at needs to be changed. It is incorrect. So I clicked my pointer and I'm going to click on that choice of letter A. Now, if I was unsure whether or not this is the correct answer, I could click my flag button. And my flag button is going to remind me whenever I review my questions that there's a flag and I need to go back and I need to take a better look, or maybe look back in my text or something to work on my, maybe find a better choice or a different choice. Okay, so I'm satisfied with this. I'm going to go ahead and press the next button. This one says to use the highlighter tool to mark the word that needs to be changed to correct the error. Read the sentence. I know there is one road that goes through the park. Which change needs to be made to correct the error? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight these words. So no, there, one, and road. Okay. So one of these is not correct. I know. NO usually means something negative or you're not allowed to have it. This doesn't mean what I do with my brain. So this I feel is not correct. But I'm still going to check my other words. Change there to there. I know there. I'm not talking about a group of people. So this there is correct. One road, well, I know that means a road, single road, not as if winning a game. So I'm going to grab make sure that, okay. Road, not road. This means the thing you drive on. This means what you do with a boat. I know there was one road. That doesn't make sense either. So I believe that I need to change NO to KNOW. So I'm going to choose letter A. And I'm going to choose the next button. All right. So friends, you can see what you need to be doing. And so what I want you to do is I want you to sign in the same as I did, and I want you to go through this practice test. Now, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit to where the first reading passage is. Friends, I want you to use that line guide tool, and that line guide can help you to track the text. And I want you to answer the questions that go along with the text. Remember, here it says more text above, more text below. So I know that this scroll bar is going to help me decide or to move through that text. I'm going to use these questions. I'm going to pay attention to those hints. All right. Okay, these questions. What is the central theme of the passage? And I'm going to choose one of these. Now, I've already read this passage, so I know that the general theme is that friendship begins with having things in common. So I'm going to choose that one. Now, pay attention to this next part. Part 2, which 2 details from the passage support the answer in part 1? Choose 2 answers. Well, part 1 had to do with having things in common. So I'm going to think back, or I'm going to look back at the text, and I'm going to find what the 2 characters had in common, or something that would relate to that. And the first one is going to be, hey, I've read that one. It's great. And the next one is, we have the same homeroom. So those are going to be the 2 things that those girls have in common. Make sure you're paying attention for these things, because you don't want to get tricked, only answer one of those and miss the question. Okay. Here you can answer and you'll type your answer in. Also remember, whenever you see something that says enlarge, when I open it, it's going to open that reading checklist for me so I can double check my work, make sure that it is focused, make sure that I've got my plan in place, and remind me to do that proofreading. Okay. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different reading passages. So take your time on those. When you're finished, you're going to click the bottom left green button. It says review and test. And what it's going to do is it's going to show you all of your answers. So it shows that you answered these questions. It doesn't tell you whether or not they're right or they're wrong, but it tells you that you have completed them. It also tells you that you have a flag, so that's going to need your attention. And whenever we were watching the tutorials, they said all you had to do was click anywhere in that box, and it'll take you directly back to that question. Now, let's say I'm done and I want to end the test. I'm going to choose End Test. Are you sure? They want to make sure. Are you done with your test? Be sure you've answered all the questions. And then if I want to submit, I'm going to click Submit. No, this is obviously a practice test, so there's not going to be anything that's going to really go to the state, but it gives you a chance to work through and practice answering different types of questions. So good luck to you. If you need any assistance, please send me an email. I'm also going to attach a Google form to this so that you can ask any questions and leave me some feedback about how you did or any struggles that you might have had in using those tools. So good luck to you, friends. If you need anything, please email.